Welcome back to Reddit Stories, where we explore stories about marital choices, sacrifices necessary for family happiness, and the "Am I a bad person?" question that will make you think deeply about the boundaries between work and life. Today, we're diving into a very real and painful story that raises questions about the boundaries of patience, the importance of family time, and whether an ideal job is worth sacrificing personal happiness. The story is titled AITA for telling her husband he had to quit his job because of the long commute. Is OP a selfish and unsympathetic wife, someone who is justifiably protecting her family, or someone who made an unreasonable request that strained the relationship? Find out and let us know what you think. This story comes from Reddit user TiredWifeOP. We'll call her OP, a wife who is feeling burned out by her husband's work situation. OP's husband, whom we'll call Husband David, recently landed a great new job. It's a position he's always wanted, with a higher salary and more career growth opportunities. David is very happy and excited about the new job. However, there's one big problem. The location is too far from home. David's commute is over an hour and a half each way, including traffic and public transportation, or driving in heavy traffic. This means that David spends at least 3 to 4 hours every day just commuting. At first, both OP and David tried to adapt, but over time, the consequences of the long commute became more apparent and seriously affected their family life. David was exhausted. Every day, David came home extremely tired, with no energy to do anything other than eat dinner and go to bed. He often fell asleep on the sofa. Lack of family time. David no longer had time to help OP with housework, take care of the children, if any, or simply spend quality time with OP. Most evenings, OP had to shoulder everything alone. Relationship affected. OP felt lonely, abandoned, and burdened. She missed the times when they could talk, watch movies together, or do chores together. Both were stressed and argued more often. Commuting. The cost of commuting, gas, or train tickets is also a significant burden, greatly reducing the benefit of David's higher salary. OP has talked to David about this issue several times. She has suggested that he find a job closer to home, or at least consider moving. But David has always refused. He says that this is too good a career opportunity to pass up, and he hopes things will improve once he gets used to the schedule. After months of suffering and feeling neglected, OP has reached her limit. She feels she can no longer continue living like this. OP realizes that this job is destroying David's health, their happiness, and the balance of the family. One evening when David came home exhausted, OP said, in a blunt and decisive manner, "Honey, I can't take this anymore. You have to quit this job. The long commute is killing us. If you don't find another job, I don't know if I can keep going like this." David was completely shocked and angry. He felt attacked, controlled, and pressured into giving up his career dreams. He said OP was selfish, not supportive, and didn't understand the value of this opportunity. David felt OP was overreacting and not caring about their financial future. The argument escalated. OP felt completely justified in defending her family's well-being, but was accused by her husband of being a bad person. In search of validation and advice, OP posted her story on Reddit, asking the community, AITA. OP's post exploded on Reddit, garnering tens of thousands of comments and hundreds of thousands of upvotes. The thread touched on one of the most contentious issues in modern marriage and life: the balance between career and family. The vast majority of the Reddit community sided with OP, affirming that she was by no means a bad person. They emphasized the importance of quality of life and family time. NTA, 1,000 times NTA, 3 to 4 hours of commuting every day is a waste of life. That job not only affects him, but also directly affects the quality of your life and your relationship. He is putting work before family. This comment received tens of thousands of upvotes and many Reddit awards. Is it worth the higher salary, but the exhaustion, lack of time, and broken marriage? Obviously not. It's not a good job if it's ruining your life. Marriage is a partnership. If one partner is shouldering everything, it's not a partnership anymore. You're marrying a man, not a ghost who's always tired. He needs to prioritize family life. I've been there. My husband eventually quit his job. Our happiness is more important than a high salary. You're doing the right thing by setting boundaries. A few comments tried to give a more balanced perspective or suggested better communication or pointed out faults on both sides. NAH. David is pursuing a career he's passionate about, and OP is worried about the well-being of their family. Both have valid reasons. The problem is the lack of compromise and finding a common solution. This comment is often disputed and receives fewer upvotes. ESH, if they can't resolve this issue in a mature way. OP has a right to express concerns, but the ultimatum can be hurtful. David is also wrong for not listening to his wife's concerns, criticizing the narrator. These are relatively few and often focus on OP being too involved in her husband's career and lacking empathy. YTA. It's his career. You don't have the right to tell him to quit, especially when it's a good opportunity. You should find a way to support him or find another solution instead of forcing him. This comment is often strongly disputed and receives many downvotes. You can't force him to quit such a high-paying job. What if they can't find a comparable job? That's selfish. In addition to the comment 1,000 times NTA mentioned, another comment has also touched the hearts of many people and caused an emotional storm because of its profound analysis of the value of time and its impact on relationships. NTA. A good job is not a good job if it takes away your and your family's time, energy, and happiness. You don't get married to live alone. You get married to have a partner. 3 to 4 hours of commuting every day is too big a sacrifice and is not sustainable. You are saving your relationship. This is a mental and physical health issue, not just a work issue. This comment received thousands of upvotes and awards, emphasizing the importance of putting family and health ahead of career. The Reddit community not only gave their verdict, but also actively engaged and expanded this topic into many deeper discussions, offering advice and sharing personal experiences. Work-life balance. A lively debate about the importance of finding balance between career and personal life, especially in marriage. Moving versus changing jobs. Discussing other possible solutions, such as moving closer to work or looking for remote positions. Communication in marriage. Advice on how to communicate effectively and compromise on major life issues. Physical and mental health, highlighting the negative impact of long and stressful commutes on healthy. Personal experience. Countless similar stories of how a spouse who works too hard or travels too much has affected the family. Overall, the Reddit community has been overwhelmingly supportive of the OP, seeing her actions as necessary to protect the family's well-being and quality of life. After receiving overwhelming support and insightful advice from the Reddit community, OP has found the strength to deal with this difficult situation. She has provided some important updates on what happened next and how she is feeling. Summary of updates. David listened. After the argument and reading the Reddit comments, which OP shared, David really listened and started to think seriously about the issue. He admitted that he was too focused on his career and ignored OP's feelings and quality of life at home. Discussing options, David and OP sat down to have a mature conversation and explore solutions. David agreed that the long commute was unsustainable. Looking for a new job/alternative, David is actively looking for a new job closer to home or a position that allows for remote work. Or they are considering moving if they find a better fit for both of them. Improved relationship. Although there was no definitive solution, David's listening and proactive approach to finding solutions has significantly improved the relationship between OP and him. OP feels more understood and supported. Perception of priorities. Both OP and David realize that family happiness and quality of life are more important than a high-paying job that takes up too much of their time. OP now feels relieved and hopeful. She still has a long way to go before David finds the right job, but she feels much more optimistic that her husband has recognized the problem and proactively worked with her to find solutions. OP has learned that it is essential to set boundaries and stick to what she believes is right for the family. She believes that with effort from both sides, they will get through this difficult time and build a more balanced life. OP's story is a classic example of the challenges of balancing personal ambition and family happiness. It highlights core issues of priorities, communication, and the sacrifices required in a relationship. Conflicting emotions in the story. OP's. Initially anxiety, fatigue, loneliness, and burden. Then exhaustion, leading to straightforward and decisive action. Finally, relief and hope that her husband listened and worked together to find a solution. Husband, David's. Initially, excitement and passion for the new job. Then physical exhaustion and anger, feeling attacked and controlled when forced to change. Reddit communities, from outrage at David for his lack of attention, to empathy at OP, to rational analysis of work-life balance and family happiness. The Reddit community, in this case, served as a strong support and a voice of reason. When OP felt isolated and criticized by her husband, the community provided a space for her to share her story and receive empathy and validation. Receiving an overwhelming NTA verdict helped OP strengthen her confidence in her decision and deal with family pressure. This demonstrates that Reddit can be a place to seek understanding, support, and helpful advice when dealing with complex personal and social issues. Character analysis. OP, narrator, represents a spouse who cares deeply about the well-being of the family and the quality of their shared life, and is willing to face conflict to protect those values. She demonstrates perseverance and ultimately determination. Husband David represents a man who is ambitious in his career, but may not be fully aware of the impact his career has on his personal and family life. He demonstrates the ability to listen and change when faced with the truth. Lessons learned. Work-life balance is the key to happiness. A job with a high salary or good opportunities does not mean it is suitable if it destroys the quality of life, health, and family relationships. Time is the most precious asset. Time for family, for yourself, and for relaxing activities is extremely important. Long commutes can rob you of this precious asset. Transparent and open communication. In a marriage, Sharing your worries, feelings, and needs in an open but constructive way is essential for both of you to find solutions. Marriage is a partnership. Both spouses need to share responsibilities, from housework to raising children and maintaining a relationship. When one partner feels the burden is too great, adjustments need to be made. Know when to reprioritize. Sometimes career goals need to be reevaluated to prioritize the overall happiness and health of the family. Long commutes are bad for your health. Spending too much time commuting can cause stress, fatigue, and negatively affect your physical and mental health. OP's story is a clear example of the difficult choices we make in life between work and family. It is a poignant reminder of the importance of prioritizing happiness and quality of life, and the need for understanding and sacrifice from both sides in a relationship. It is a call to always think carefully about the costs of career success and whether those costs are worth the precious time spent with loved ones. What do you think of this story? If you were OP, how would you handle this situation? Have you ever encountered a situation where your commute has affected your family life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Thanks for following Reddit Stories. See you in the next story.